This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our partner, Audible.
Yes, it is. So we are partnered with Audible. That means that if you are looking just to check it out, you don't want to put your card in and just take the dive. You can get 30 days for free on us. If you go to audibletrial.com/JATG or click the link down below, you'll be taken there. You can sign up for 30 days for free and just test it out. Like there's a lot of stuff on there that you can get for free, a lot of Audible exclusives. But what I really like about Audible is that out of the hundreds and thousands of audiobooks that they have, if you decide to purchase something, that is yours forever. Like if you decide not to carry on your subscription or you want to take a break or whatever it is, you can always go back and listen to that book whenever you want through the app on the internet. Doesn't matter because it's yours. So once again, you can get that for 30 days for free on us if you go to audibletrial.com/JATG.
Once again, Johnny and TheGreg are live. We're live. It's been a while. It's been a long time. I feel like maybe we've lost some people, Greg. I think it's been so long since we've chatted.
Yeah, the people are probably
Like, what the hell's going on?
Wondering where we've been.
Yeah, which is good, I guess, if people are tuning in and they're not getting, that's not good, but the people are tuning in, so that's good.
Cool. I had a couple of people that were like, are you like one way I posted last week, we're going to be dark for one more week as we figure out, just as we get through our schedules. And
yes,
that got some likes, that got some things, people wondering how we're doing. So that's good.
We're doing fine. I was just talking to Greg in the pre-show, basically saying that and he agreed, our lives right now are like one continuous one-shot action scene.
Yeah.
So it's just going, and I think it's just finally slowing down to ramp up again, I'm assuming. So
yeah, I mean, I'm actually pretty good for a while. Like this was the last weekend where we had stuff like on the calendar.
Yeah.
And like I was we've talked about how I host screenings and stuff like that. I totally scrapped my Indiana Jones screening. One, because I forgot to invite people like in a timely manner.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh geez, I should get that out. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna skip it. As it happens, we were at a graduation party yesterday for my a bunch of my daughter's friends, and Kate was talking about, well, my dad, he gets these special screenings and do all that, and that turned into, are you going to do one for the Barbie movie? I'm like, well, I wasn't going to, but I suppose I could.
Sorry, that's just the guy in me.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely the hardcore male in me is like, I don't want to do that. But then the previews for it actually look pretty good. It looks like it's going to be very.
The previews what?
The previews look good. It looks to be a little bit more. It looks intellectual, I think.
I think it's just another version of Clueless.
I think it's going to be a little bit more than that. We'll see. Yep.
Yeah. Either way, if it's good or if it's not good, personally, I don't give a shit. So, but that's cool. Are you going to go see Indiana Jones?
Oh yes, I will definitely see it.
Yeah, I need to see it. I think I need
without a doubt. You're welcome to come up here and see it with us if you want.
Yeah. Well, what is it, next week? This coming weekend?
This coming week, yeah.
I will either be able to or I won't.
Yeah. I got to get something out of the way. So
go for it.
Just be 2 seconds here.
Oh.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I just had to shout out. So part of my busyness for the week is I want to introduce the world to Peregrine Took. We will call him Pippin.
What the fuck? He looked That's great. You got a new
Yep.
dog.
We got a puppy today.
Cool.
So
Today.
today,
Wow.
yep, picked him up today. I've spent
Oh,
so much time in a car after a wedding in Green Bay
yeah.
on Friday, driving back
Cool.
from Green Bay on Saturday,
Very
and
cool.
driving up to northern Wisconsin today to pick him up. You can go let him go now. So
Is it very much part of like are you kind of like because let me start over again. What we're planning on doing is when Ham gets to we believe a certain age, we're going to introduce a puppy.
yes,
Is
that
that
is
is Chewy
that
at
is
that age?
this. Yes, he's 5. So, um, so we've been kind of looking for a little bit, and here come, I think the texts are coming through. Yeah, here we
Yeah.
go. So but thanks, Mike, thanks for watching. We've been thinking about it for a while, and the stars just never aligned. and,
Yeah.
and so and even now it was kind of rough. We had a graduation party last weekend. The weekend before that, my daughter graduated, and it just so happened, I don't know if it was Sunday or Monday. I think it was Sunday night. There's the same breeder we always use. Our friend Marshall has 2 dogs from her as well.
Okay.
She's fantastic, top of the ridge kennel, or top of the ridge breeders out of Kendall, Wisconsin. And she posted this puppy that's Pip. And we're like, what? And we got Chewy like a year or 2 years before COVID.
Okay. Of
And then when COVID hit, dog prices skyrocketed
course.
because everybody wanted a dog to be at home and things like that.
Like the perfect time to train one. Yeah.
Yep. And so like we were outpriced for most puppies. And I'm a guy, I love dog rescues and people that do that. We've tried to rescue a couple and it just really hasn't worked out. And so we're very picky. Like, I want a puppy, I want one I can raise to in
Yeah.
my environment, right?
I'm right with you there. I'm right with you.
So,
So
and plus, the background of the dog, it
yeah.
hasn't come from a bad home. You're
Right.
safe with your family. Well, she posted this puppy at like a quarter of the cost of one of her regular pups. And I was like, what's going on? Like, is
Does it
something wrong?
does it only have
Something,
3 legs? What's going on?
yeah, what's something wrong with him? And she's fantastic. And she was like, no, absolutely. He is A+ perfect dog. The thing was, she had a group that they were in like Florida. And so they did all of the deposits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they were coming to pick up the dog. And she's like, they're not showing up. They're not showing up. So finally she contacts them. She's like, are you guys still coming today? They're like, well, we made a mistake. We thought you were in Kendall, Florida, not Kendall, Wisconsin. And so she's like, okay.
Wait, were these people that drove all the way down to Kendall, Florida and realized?
No,
Or
no, no. These
or they
people,
lived in Florida, thought it was Kendall,
they live
Florida?
in Florida. I
Got
guess
it.
there's a town called Kendall in Florida.
Yeah.
And they're like, will you ship them to us? And our breeder's like, yeah, sure. But this is what it costs to ship a dog. I mean, a live thing.
Animal. Yes.
And they're like, well, no, we don't want to do that. And so, and I remember when we got Chewy, the language is very clear. Like, if you put a deposit down, that is a non-refundable deposit, because she's using that deposit money to care for her puppies and get them the vet shots and everything else until you pay the balance, and then it's your responsibility. And so pretty much it was whatever they put down on the deposit minus what they had left is what we had to pay.
Okay.
And so we were like, yeah, we're going to jump on this.
Cool.
So there was, we took the like 24, 36 hour kind of mulling it over, thinking about it. Is this the right time? And I was like, yeah, okay, we're going to do it.
So
there we go.
We're replacing Kate already.
It was her idea. So no. But we did on Thursday. We did get to go to Kate's college, and they separated. Parents, we're going to talk to you here. Students, we're going to talk to you here. And Kate couldn't get into her dorm room. She knows which dorm room she's in. She couldn't get in there because they have a camp, but she was able to see like a mock-up.
Yeah.
Do you remember our dorm rooms?
Yeah.
Like practically, I mean, if like you and I could stand
I'm not
And
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this comes off wrong. I'm not trying to say it. It's basically a prison cell.
mhm, yeah, pretty much.
Like it's
Like,
about the same size as a prison cell, except there's
yeah,
no bars. There's a door.
exactly. And
Yeah.
there are plenty of other schools that are, I mean, it's
Right.
four cinder block walls and a window,
Yep.
and we could almost touch. I mean, if you're a man of a certain height, if you're 6'2" and up with
Yep.
a decent wingspan, you could just about touch the two
Yep.
walls.
Yep.
And that is not what she's in.
Does
Like,
she have like the ones that are portrayed on TV?
a little bit.
My
Like
God,
it's a
damn. She doesn't
bigger
even know
room.
how lucky she has it.
There's a bathroom and showers that she shares with the next door room.
Okay.
So at most, she's got to share a bathroom with three other people, three other girls, and
Gosh.
like the
Gosh.
other 50 to 100 dudes on a floor, and you're all sharing like the one central bathroom that's got like 4 or 5 shower stalls. And
Yep. Well, the good old days. Also, I
yeah,
bet you she also has air conditioning.
she does. Yes.
Yeah, we didn't.
But not at all.
Yeah. We had to tough that shit out. And I don't know if you guys understand, like we were baking in brick.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah. I
first
mean, it
couple of those
was,
first couple of weeks when we would come back, from summer, we bake in that thing.
yeah. And it was like you'd open your window to try to get some airflow through
And there
there.
was no
Just,
clue.
and it was,
No
if it
flow.
was airflow, it was just like opening an oven, just hot,
Yeah.
hot
Just
wind. And then at night it would turn, and all of a sudden it's like,
freezing.
yeah, like low 50s at night. And you're like, well, now we got to shut the window or else we get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good times. Good times.
Well, good. Well, good for her. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, good. That's good. So we have some things to talk about, Greg.
We
And
do.
you
We
pretty
do.
much have them. You, sir, are in charge of the show today. I'm just to comment as for things I see or hear.
I should have took better notes if I'm in charge of the show.
Yeah.
I gotta find, because we do have a couple things to talk about. First, I think we can talk about the Flash.
Okay.
So I saw the Flash.
Yes.
So I saw the Flash on Monday.
Okay. Last Monday.
This past Monday I saw it. If you would have asked me walking out of the theater, what'd you think of it? I would have said, not too bad. Like it's pretty good. Like I liked this part. I like that, I would have been like okay with it. Now that I've kind of had a week to sit on it, I'm glad the Snyderverse is over. Like it,
Why do you say that?
because it just needs to twilight.
What changed your mind?
One, the script is not good. There are good moments, and yes, Michael Keaton at one point when Barry gets to Michael Keaton's Batcave, and they've got the theme going. You see the Batmobile. He's doing like the giant like breakers that are like Frankenstein-y, like throw the first switch.
Yeah,
he's doing that, and the Batcave's lighting up. I know I just had a permanent smile on my face, just like, to the point where my wife looked over at me and I heard her say to my kids, look at dad right now. And I was like, I'm just going to hold this. Like, this is fantastic. It spoke to my 1989 Greg inside me. Absolutely. It did. That was the best part.
Okay.
Everything else, like is one of those scripts where, it's multiverse. We know that there's time travel involved. The whole thing is, and this is from the previews, Barry is trying to keep his mother alive, because part of the reason he is the Flash is because his mother was murdered. That's what drove him to join the crime lab, which caused the accident that made him the Flash. So he's trying to find a way to save his mom. Mm-hmm. And noble pursuit. Good job, buddy. I got bacon neck going on here. It's kind of ridiculous.
Is that a V-neck or is that just a regular?
No, it's a V-neck. It's a
okay.
V-neck.
All right.
Sure.
Then I was gonna say, because if it's not a V-neck, yeah, you better throw that away.
It's worn, but it's still a very well worn. Anyway, so you go through the whole movie, and then there's a spot at the end, and how it kind of resolves. And it resolves in kind of the best way it can, with a court trial that Barry's trying to, save his dad because his dad's in jail for the murder of his mom, which he didn't commit. And the way it resolves, you're like, so really, if Barry had just been a little bit smarter, all of that could have been avoided. All of it.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, even at the beginning of the film,
Yes.
I'm like, oh, he's just going to go back in time, do this thing, and then that should be fine. And that's not what he did. And you're like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, it's just,
okay. So the more you thought about it, the more you thought it didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense at all. And, the little throwbacks, the jokes, the cameos, they're okay. When Barry is in the Speed Force and looking at the other multiverse sphere, I think they called it the pot. Okay. He's looking at the multiverse cauldron or pot.
Sure.
The CGI, if you were to think like the same animation is style and quality as the first Toy Story movie.
Okay.
They look that cartoony.
Or the first Beast Wars?
No, not that bad. Not that bad. Okay. But that cartoony and how they did some of the human faces. I mean, and when you read back, they're like, no, that was a choice we made. We did that on purpose. I'm like, why the fuck would you do that on purpose? Like, what was your reasoning?
It's not doing well at the box office.
No, and for good reason. People are, and their response was, well, that's how Barry sees the world. I'm like, then this is dumb. Yeah. And we've talked about this before. The way Barry runs, is stupid.
Yep.
That doesn't change.
Oh no. Well, and I guess you couldn't change it, but you could.
Yeah, you could.
If you want to be, I don't know, like I don't know how to explain that. If you want to be like,
just make it how he runs on the TV show.
Yeah, true.
I mean, the effects were on par. I mean, like the TV show and the movie effects were pretty much the same. Yeah. In when he's running so fast, like he's running faster than the speed of light, so he is time traveling and going into the multiverse. They actually had his feet move backwards.
Oh no.
And I'm like, why? That's no. Just no. So
would it maybe they just talked to some
physicist who said it would look like he's running backwards.
Right.
But like his feet are going in reverse. Or
like, aren't there tires?
Yes.
Caps that look like they're going backwards when you faster you go.
Yes.
That's so maybe it's, I don't know.
That's kind of the reasoning behind that. And you're still going, but it on a car looks cool. When you see it on human legs, looks awkward and dumb. And so if you're a fan, if you're a comic book movie fan and you still 5 years ago, I would have said, I don't want comic book movies to go away. I'm going to see this movie and make sure my money goes into that. Well, they're not going away. So you can really skip it and watch it on HBO Max or on Max when it comes out or something.
That's kind of how I feel about most movies, actually, including most Marvel movies that are coming out now.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting the 40 days until Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I don't know. I mean, I could talk more about it, but
yeah,
I'm glad I saw it. But at the same time, man, I'm just saddened that that's where whoever was running the DCU film stuff pre James Gunn.
Yeah.
How did that person? I mean, it takes multiple approvals and multiple people to lay eyes on this. And guys like Jim Lee had to take a look at this. Jim Lee and Jeff Johns, who are huge comic book guys. And they're looking at that going, you know what? Yeah, do that. It's like, are you just setting them up for failure? I mean, is that what you were doing?
I don't know, but I heard some bad mojo stuff happened with Johns. I heard he became a tyrant from what I understand. And
I've heard that too, yeah.
I'm guessing it's because he quickly figured out that whatever he did in the comic book industry, the movie business is completely different.
Different, yeah.
And I don't know if again, I haven't read nearly the articles that I probably should to even talk about this subject, but I am just literally guesstimating that he couldn't adjust to that difference.
I I would believe that, honestly.
So
There's a great kind of cutaway when you see when you see the multiverses, and the way they did it is like it's a total reset of the DCU. I mean, they're acknowledging, yes, they exist, and at the same time saying they're done, they're not in canon anymore, we
yes,
can start over. um they harken back to the Kevin Smith Superman Reborn
yep.
uh
I heard that was
movie,
a
that,
cameo. Yep.
and it was, you laugh at it, but I laughed more, and I posted this on our Facebook page. The Kevin Smith script, he goes through the process of him getting that script, working on it, and then eventually them not using that script. And it is, if you want a lesson in how Hollywood works,
Yeah.
it's really that. And we do got a message here from Matt. I want to see. Matt says part of the problem was the doubling down on this with James, saying it's one of the best superhero movies he's seen. That's true. And David said it was the best superhero movie as well.
David who?
I can't remember. I don't know. David who, man? I'm not sure who you're talking about. I think that this was way overhyped instance where they should have, click to see more, should have undersold and overperformed. Yeah, I think so. Because there were, I mean, when it filmed at Cannes, Gunn and Zaslav, David Zaslav, who's the other, he's the guy that is also in charge of DC, that it's not James Gunn. Yeah, when they were talking about, it's at Cannes, whatever. And it's getting standing ovations, and it's the best superhero from the MCU. It's like, did you preload the theater with a bunch of fanboys and like load them up with a bunch of free shit and say, don't forget to cheer for us at the end?
Here's some shots.
Yeah. Oh, it would be a fun movie to drink to.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah, get half loaded, or pop a couple gummies and then watch the film. Then it would make it so enjoyable. Going in there stone cold sober, you're like, the fuck.
That's a shame. Before we move on to I actually want to ask you a little bit about the new Disney Plus series that just came out. It only one episode, but I'll go to that in a second. But going back to what you said about how they have this huge adventure, and then at the end, if he would have just done this, and almost like ruined the rest of the movie, because you were like, well, why didn't he just do that? None of this shit would have happened.
Yeah.
That happens to me when I write a story. I'll finish the story and read the whole thing out. I'm proud. I'm excited. I'm ready to like show it to my 3, 4, 5 friends.
Yep.
And then I go, oh, wait a minute. Why would he not just do this? And then I'm like, I can't do it.
Beginning.
I can't send this. I can't do this. So.
Well, and the writing credit, the guy that worked, one of the guys that worked on the script, one of the head writers, or the guy that they billed first, is what's his name? He was on Bones, and he did like Into the Spider-Verse. He's done some really good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like his name, and then here's the other people that worked on the script too. And you're like, you should have.
Anytime I hear about screenwriters having more than like 2 people write it, I'm like, this is probably gonna suck.
It's like story by this guy, script by this guy, screenplay by this guy, and you're like, okay,
revision by this guy. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, I should have left it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Blue Beetle, because I am. I mean, I think that's going to be a good enough standalone story that it could still be good.
If they pull that off well, that could be probably a really good, like, I guess, DC Spider-Man version.
Yeah, and James Gunn has said like he's including Blue Beetle in his new mythos.
Okay, so he must see where they're going with it. So
wherever that's at, he's like, where this is like, there's a hard stop at the end of Flash, where you get the idea that the Snyderverse is done, and then here's the new cast. So I definitely believe that the guy that played the Flash, what's his name? Psycho Boy. Yep. He's done.
Good.
I really believe
I think that hurt the film too.
Oh, it definitely hurt the film.
Definitely
hurt the film.
And you want, because he is a talented actor.
He is, and he's playing a dual role in the film.
Yeah.
Because he's playing his like 18-year-old multiverse self.
Right.
And he's good. He's a good actor. And but doesn't matter if you're a psycho in real life. So
Yes, that's true. That's true. So Disney Plus dropped kind of under the radar
a
almost.
little bit, like you had to know it was coming to really
Yeah,
figure
and
out what
I
was coming.
almost feel like that was brilliant because that's kind of what the whole spiel is
Yep.
of the show.
Yep. We're
Um,
talking Secret Invasion.
yeah, the first one dropped, the first episode dropped. I'll be honest, I have no idea what to think of it just simply because it was the
Did
first
you
episode.
watch it? Did you
Yeah,
watch it?
yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay.
I watched it. Yeah. So I don't know where they're going with this.
That's
Because the
good.
secret invasion that you and I know had to do with almost all the Marvel characters. In fact, it
Right.
almost would have been a perfect way to reintroduce Tony Stark if you wanted to go
They
that
could
route.
have. They could
Yeah,
have. Yeah.
they could have done a lot of those things. So that's what I was used to. But I'll see what they're doing. I think Samuel L. Jackson's always Samuel L. Jackson. He's great.
Yep.
So I want to see what happens here. I think they got some really good actors. The guy that plays Ross.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
he's a fantastic actor. That's the guy from Hobbit. He's the
Yep.
Hobbit.
Yep.
Uh, that Bilbo or
He was Bilbo in The Hobbit. Yes.
in the Hobbit. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So what did you think of it? Like, what are your thoughts so far? I mean,
I enjoyed it. Kind of the same as you. I mean, it's a Marvel spy story.
yeah,
So don't you got to accept that it's Marvel, but you also need to accept that superheroes are not going to be a major part of this story.
right.
And the idea actually plays off of what was introduced in the Captain Marvel film is the Skrulls. Uh, and I didn't like it in the Skrulls or in Captain
Captain
Marvel where they
Marvel.
introduced the Skrulls as good guys because they are classic Marvel villains.
Yes.
And like, okay, misunderstood alien race seeking asylum. I'm not fond of it, but you know what? I don't own Marvel. I'll just see what they do with it. And now they're doing what I wanted them to do, where the Skrulls are uh, fractured. There's a civil war amongst the Skrulls.
Yep.
And there is a group that are like, we should just infiltrate human government and all forms of human life and take over.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to control the humans without them knowing they are being controlled.
Right.
And that is a lot of story opportunity there.
Yeah. The only thing that worries me, Greg, is that it's 6 episodes.
Yeah, I know it's only 6.
And what I mean by that, that's rough. That's rough to I'm afraid they won't flesh out a lot. I'm
Right.
afraid, I guess that's what it is with me with Secret Invasion is I'm hearing everybody praise it that has
Mhm.
more episodes than I have. And it worries me because again I'm looking at 6 episodes and I'm thinking, God, I don't know if you're gonna be able to squeeze all this out in 6 episodes.
Maybe not, but then they have 6 hours then. It's maybe a little bit more than 6 hours because
Hopefully, I would like
I mean that's where if it was a Secret Invasion film, you're looking at 2.5, maybe
that's true.
3.
That's true, but I
So
do get the feeling they would have built that up to that point.
maybe.
Yeah. So anyway,
I think it's good. I think my predictions
yes,
are so you got Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury, Olivia Colman killing it as an MI6 agent. She was so fun to watch.
yes.
The who's playing the bad guy? I'm looking for
I
his
forgot.
name. Kingsley Ben Adir, I think is how you say his name. He's playing a character named Gravik. In his human form is a black man.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be he's playing the face he has is Sam Jackson's son. It is Nick Fury's son.
Oh,
Illegitimate son.
okay. I didn't
And
know.
well, because the Nick Fury that you and I grew up with in the comics, the Jim Steranko, Jack Kirby, was a white guy with the eye patch, and he had like silver on his temples, gray hair. That version of Nick Fury, in the comics, they said he had an illegitimate son who looked like Sam Jackson, Nick Fury Jr.
Okay.
And Nick Fury Sr. just passed in the comics. He passed away. So now the new Nick Fury is a young Sam Jackson looking Nick Fury. And I think that I could see them somehow working that in, where Samuel Jackson is able to retire as Nick Fury. But here we have another like Nick Fury Jr. that they can use, because Sam Jackson's like late 70s, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I I can't deny that. I know nothing of that, so I didn't put those together. So good for you. I
Yeah.
didn't put that together at all.
I'm looking. Yeah, he was born in 1948.
Mhm.
So he's 74.
Yeah. 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 Maybe.
Unless I'm doing my math wrong, which I'm gonna check here because I don't trust myself. He's 75. Or he'll be 75 this December. So yeah, I mean he's not looking to do action roles and maybe even looking to retire. I don't know. But that's a big deal. But I'm in for the 6 hours. I loved the first episode. The twist ending, I was like, oh
Yeah, me too.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think they messed up.
You think?
I think they messed up. And what I mean by I think they messed up is I think I saw when they were showing a preview on television, I saw a scene of a certain person, and that scene wasn't in episode 1. So I was like,
Oh, so you think okay.
so
Maybe that person isn't
well,
deed.
we think they are. Yeah. Either way.
Or it could be, yeah, that could be either way.
Yeah, either way.
You are correct. So
So I don't want to ruin that for anybody that hasn't seen episode 1. Anyway, um, before we go into some kind of cool little thing that Greg got his little paw in,
mhm.
let's talk about actually I don't know how to feel about this except it sucks and it's a horrible tragedy. Um, the people I heard about this actually last Sunday. I just kind of
Oh,
briefly touched on it. The
the
guy in the
tight,
sub,
yeah,
the guys in the sub.
yes.
Um, my first thought process when I heard that happen, I went, "Ah, shit, that sucks." Like if you haven't found it,
Yeah,
most likely it's not good.
correct.
Um, the other thing I heard an expert say was that, and this is before I dove into some stuff. I didn't dive too much into it, but one guy said that it's very easy for a sub of that kind to, when it goes down there, to get stuck or get caught on something. And
Mhm.
my first thought then was, why would you do it then? If it's so easy to get caught, why would, I mean, and that's what he said. He goes, two things happen. He's actually said three things happened. Number one, they got blown away and they've risen to the top and we just haven't found them because they're
Yeah.
miles away.
Hmm.
Or it imploded, or they've gotten hooked down at the bottom, which is so easy to do, is what he said. And I
Yeah.
thought, if it's that easy, why, like, two out of those three possibilities aren't good.
Right.
So why would you do it?
It's right up there for me of why people climb Everest.
Yeah, ever since
Like
that's a
people die every year, like more than a couple.
yep.
And like safety things are getting a little bit better, so there's like a lot more people going, but that's causing a bunch of issues as well. I mean, they say the world's largest open graveyard is on Everest.
Yeah, because they
They
can't
don't bring those bodies down.
nope.
They just stay there frozen, so they're not decomposing.
Yeah.
And
Hey, look up real quick how many dead bodies are estimated in Everest.
okay. But it's the same kind of thing of like, if you know there's a really good chance you're going to die, why do you do that? And people do it. And those guys weren't going down. I didn't get the idea that they're going down there for exploratory.
No, it
They
was a
just,
bunch of rich people that wanted to see it.
it was sightseeing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I heard
that was,
that a
that was,
guy that go ahead.
go, no, you go ahead. I'm looking stuff up. So,
I heard one of the guys that kind of was like the team lead, I guess you want to call him,
mhm.
designed the sub, and his engineer was said like that's not going to work, that's not going to happen, and he fired him and
Yep.
like got rid of him or something.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Like
Dude,
there's a guy who was bringing up these are design flaws. Like
yeah,
the sub they went down in
yeah.
wasn't steel, it wasn't metal, it was a carbon fiber.
Oh no.
So they were like, this is what it's going to be like. They didn't, you couldn't open anything from the inside. Like the big cap on the end, the big, thing was bolted in. And that was like the only way they could get out. So in your, one of the things where they said they've risen somewhere else and we just haven't found them yet. They still had an oxygen problem because
They couldn't get out.
they couldn't get out even if they were on the surface.
Oh my God.
So there were so many of things like that, these design flaws. I heard they didn't do any kind of safety testing. Like they said, we're not gonna, because they said you need to do like all these different tests and stuff like that. And they're like, nope, we're gonna miss our window. We're just gonna go. So, and I have fluctuated. I was kind of the opposite. The first thing that went through my head was the negative. Because it was 4 billionaires, five.
Yes.
Yeah. Spent some of their billions to go sightseeing in an underwater graveyard to see a shipwreck, and tragedy happened. And I go, well, serves you right. I mean, kind of not serves you right. And I quickly had to check myself. I'm like, no, this was these were grandfathers, these were fathers. I mean, they had people that loved them. Yeah. And so I had
A
to
little
like,
chaotic neutral there, Greg.
it was very like you could have used your billions for something else.
Yeah.
Instead, you selfishly went down to look at a shipwreck. Um, so I'm doing like this back and forth to the point where my kids were like, some dudes went, and I was like, okay, hold on, guys. Just have a little bit of compassion in there too. Like they do have loved ones. They do have families,
Yes.
no matter how rich they are. And yes, their families are super rich too. They still will be missed. Let's keep that in mind as well.
Like it's
Now,
all about be nice.
yeah, kind of just be nice. But now you've also got like all this stuff is coming out. Like you said, that lead designer that was like, I tried to stop him. Well, I tried to say this wasn't a good idea, and they went forward with it. You're like,
Yeah,
that's
you're not
rough.
helping me here with the be nice guys.
Yeah, well, and the media had a field day. I saw one news, I can't remember who it was, if it was CNN or Fox. It was one of the big ones.
Yeah.
One of the extremes.
Okay.
Either the right extreme or the left extreme had literally like an oxygen countdown.
Oh God.
Constantly running on they only have 19 hours left. And it's like, you morbid motherfuckers. Like really, it was
that's an intern that came up with that shit.
Something. It was something. It was like, what the hell? No, let's try to
Actually,
get these guys
not
out.
an intern. It was not an intern. That was an executive.
That was an executive went, this is what's going to get people to just lock in on our screen and not change the channel.
Because interns, I'm guessing, still have their souls. So
maybe you hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's, and some of the stuff, the running through my feed, and it's really excited. My friend Buzz was really the one that I was the first one to jump out and be like, hey, they may be old curmudgeon bastards, but they were men with families.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, I feel like shitio. Yep. So going back and forth, but now it's like they're looking at this, the state government or whatever state they were from, Washington, maybe. They're like, what do you want us to do? Like, they didn't break a law. Yeah. I mean, people are like, they should go after their companies. And the company's like, what? You think the guy that's, I think one guy was a shipping magnate. He's like, do you think the guy that's running the crane had anything to do with what his billionaire out of touch reality boss was doing? No. I mean, yeah, these guys have paid the ultimate price, I think. So as far as like who charges or anything like that, just leave it alone.
We were talking about that last night with Ursula's sister, and she's a news person, so she just digs into news. Like, and she was telling me that I don't want to misquote her, but I'm going to because I forgot half the conversation. But she said they didn't, according to the experts, they didn't know it until it was done. Like, They didn't know there was unless there was a warning system that told them, hey, and like this is coming and there's nothing you
Right.
can do about it. But I guess when the pressure like crushed it,
Yeah.
it eviscerated them. The
Yes.
pressure was
So
so intense that it just became, and forgive me, I don't know how many, they were all they became a mist.
yeah, they were like liquefied.
Yes.
Um,
That
I
blows my
remember
mind. I can't picture that in my head.
right
Like,
there
how did pressure do that?
when the movie Titanic came out and
Yeah,
James Cameron, who, I don't know if you want to say he did this kind of exploration the right way, but certainly his sub that he had 25 years ago,
yeah.
maybe close to 30 years ago now, looked much more advanced than what these billionaires had. And
Jesus.
so James Cameron going down, and I remember something, I don't know if it was a documentary special or whatever it was, behind the scenes thing, maybe. They did this is what would happen. Like, this is what the ocean pressure is like at this depth. And they did it with like a soda can, where it's like they heated up the soda can and then they dipped it in freezing water or something like that
It
right away.
mattered.
Well, it just went, I mean, just like so quickly, it just crumpled into a little ball. And they're like, this is how much pressure. It's something like 6,000 pounds per square inch.
See, when you
So
say that, I
it
can't picture
can't
that.
picture that. I mean, the okay, so in Maverick, they talk about when they're pulling 9 Gs,
Yes.
your body weighs 1,200 pounds. Like,
Yes, that's right.
that's
Yeah.
so 1,200 pounds, and these guys are blacking out and
Yeah.
they're doing that kind of breathing to try to keep their blood flowing.
Yes.
So you're almost 6 times that amount of weight in the matter of a second. This isn't like something in a Hollywood film where it's like crumple, 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 crumple. It's just, so like, if there's even time for an alarm to go off,
Yes.
it was just, and you're done. Like, that's it. Just absolutely done.
But why were you eviscerated?
Because that amount of weight just smashes in on you. It's
So it's almost like an
yeah.
invisible force field that just goes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's the best
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
explanation I have. I
Right.
mean, imagine like every wall in your house
Just collapsing at once.
compacting on you at such a high rate of speed, you can't adjust. I mean, it's just your body just doesn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That sucks.
So they,
Going back to Everest here.
yeah. Oh
Um.
yeah, 300 people.
Yeah.
300
More than
300 people have died on the mountain, and there's 200 bodies that are still up there. They say they estimate around 200 bodies.
Are they littered all over at the top, or is there a certain place where they take them to?
They don't take them anywhere. They just leave
Okay.
them.
So wherever they drop, that's it.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn.
Well, and a lot of them they can't find. They say with global warming, like, there's not, the snow cap on the mountain has started to recede. So they're finding new ones every season. They're like, oh, there's another body over there. I wonder who that is.
Wow.
And
Okay. It says it's an average of 4.4 fatalities each year.
Mhm.
There are records of people climbing. So I want to know how many people climb in a year, because what's your percentage of dying up there? You know what I mean?
Well, the number's growing. I saw that on a Time magazine cover. Well, that was one of my last teaching years, and I've been out of teaching for 8 years. So it was probably 10 or 12 years ago
Yeah.
that I saw a cover of Time magazine, because they have to get up like at 2 a.m. and
Yes.
start hiking to make it to the summit by,
It takes 2 months to climb it.
yeah, you have to take 2 months of your
Right.
life. Yeah. And go. There's a great movie. I think it's just called Everest, that details one of the deadliest climbs where the weather just absolutely turned and these guys kind of forced their way up. And just a lot of people died that year.
In 2022, it cost you $54,000.
Yeah. The country of Tibet, this is their gross national product is mostly people hiking Everest.
Wow.
Like, that's how their country makes money, is on the tourism of Everest.
Wow.
And so and it's very, Tibet's a very religious country. So they
Gotcha.
only let you go during certain times. And there's also a weather thing. You can only go when the weather's good.
Yeah, when the weather's good.
You have to employ their Sherpas to try to get you up the mountain. And some of them go up like no oxygen, like no problem all the time. Some are like, nope, we're going to use oxygen. I mean, there are companies that this is just what they do. And there are companies that are like, no matter what, it's getting to the point where they're like, if you're in even a decent level of fitness, we can get you to the summit of Everest. Like it will happen. So people are just paying
Yes.
and then taking 2 months of their lives away to go and try to climb. And I'm like,
Just listen to this. Listen to this. On April 25th, 2015, 19 people, the most ever in a single day on Everest, were killed in an avalanche at base camp after a 7.8 earthquake, which
yeah,
killed more than 9,000 people and injured more than 20,000 in Nepal. This is the one, this is the part that's scary, Greg. Okay. Let's say you and I are stupid enough to do this. We do it, we get to the top. Stop you there. During the 2023 season, a total of 17 climbers died to and from the summit. So
yeah.
just because you got to the top,
I mean, you still got to get back down.
you
Yeah,
still got to get back down, and your chance of dying. Oh,
yeah.
that's what you look. What's your chance of dying on Everest? You know,
I don't even want to think about it. This is the same, like, you think about Everest, you think about deep sea tourism, because that's what they thought about making Titanic like a tourist attraction.
that's
Like, let's see how we can get people, the super rich to take a tour down there. And then space tourism. I'm just until we get to like science fiction levels of
100%.
safety,
Yeah,
I'm not doing it. Until we get to Star Trek,
I
which
hear
is
it when he just flies up there.
yeah, where it's like we've got shuttlecraft that no, and then you're there. No way. I mean, and
What?
that's not my lifetime. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. The percentage of deaths to successful attempts is about 4%.
And some people go 4%. It's not that bad.
But those are very unique people, man. They're
Yeah,
yeah.
I've never met a person that's climbed Everest.
Neither have I.
I mean, they're
I
out
mean, I've
there.
heard people. I've listened to podcasts and shit. There's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one guy on Rogan where he did the 7 peaks in 7 months or
Oh yeah, yeah.
something like that. So that's incredible. So he's climbed every highest point in the world. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's an average of about 4.4 fatalities each year. Jesus Christ, that's
Hmm.
oh okay.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
All right, man. Let's
So
get to
beyond that, yeah, we got to get to so our friends over, let me I gotta
we have
move.
friends.
We do. We have some friends of the show, even. Um,
No shit.
yeah, sure. So you remember Liz, right?
I do. Yes.
Um, so Liz is a publicist that we got to know. If you go back and look at our Sandy King Carpenter interview from a couple of years ago that she did with us for our Halloween show, Sandy King Carpenter, wife of John Carpenter, and is a you know excellent comic book publisher for Storm King Comics. We got to
Great producer
know.
too. Great movie producer.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
By the way, go back and watch that. We get about a 5.6 seconds of "Hello, John Carpenter." It's pretty
Yeah,
cool. He
yeah.
was nice. He was
I
nice.
still I still fly high on that.
Right, me too.
So Liz has the Sphinx PR group, and she had reached out to me, and she's like, "Hey, you guys play Dungeons and Dragons, right?" I said, "Absolutely, we do." She's like, "Can I send you some stuff, or would you be interested?" And I said, "Yeah." So she sent me a box, and we have to open it up
My
and
God, have you
see.
had that? How long have you had that box?
I've had this a week and
Are
a
you
half.
dying? Are you dying?
Yes, yes, I've been wanting to open it. I'm like, well, maybe.
Open it up with a cool knife.
Do I have one on my desk though? I don't have a cool knife here. Wait. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Oh, here we go.
Where's it at? I can see it kind of. Oh, give, I gotta do a thing here.
Yeah, go for it. I'll show you my knife I would have used to cut it. Just FYI.
Oh, that's cute.
I'll use that one. Oh, you're gonna bust out Mick Dundee.
I gotta reach it.
I can show you my avatar knife.
I don't think that's gonna cut anything.
I It just cut my heart, Greg. How you like that?
Can you still hear me?
I
Am I good?
can. I
Okay,
can.
hold on a second. Something happened.
No, I don't think anything happened.
Yeah, something happened.
I think you're okay. Get the knife, Greg. Let's open this up. Do you know
Okay, here
what's
we
in
go.
there at all?
I do know what's in there.
Okay.
The voice is not coming through my headphones anymore.
How about now?
Can I hear myself? I still can't hear myself, but that's okay.
Take off the headphones.
We're
Turn
good. We're gonna do it, man. We're gonna do it. And I found the knife that I want.
Nice.
It's a dagger.
Jagger.
Very nice dagger. So what's in here is called Raltmork from AAW Games. And explore the wastelands and uncover mysteries, clues to the past for adventure of 4 to 6 characters starting at level 5 to 7, and you conclude at 8 or 11.
What's it called?
Raltmork. It's by Jonathan G. Nelson, game designer with AAW Games. They have a really cool series called Drow Legacy Books or Legacy of the Drow.
Rise of
Really,
the
really cool hardcover that I saw when we were at Gen Con. And I didn't have it. I didn't have the cash to pick it up at the time, but
I saw this.
Yeah.
Survival.
So,
The one that caught my eye was Survivalist Guide to Spelunking.
yeah, that looks pretty good. So let me read the.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Excuse me. Deep in the Bavarian mountain stands monolithic spires of stone, peppered with ancient ruins and mostly forgotten. The spire contains the temple, complex, rich in history, and steeped in mysteries of the past, untouched for a millennium, but is not without its dangers, for ancient evil stagnates within. This is Raltmork, where, according to legend, the very land died to the sound of a single falling tear. So, they sent me Raltmork. Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy and it's pretty.
It is pretty. I do like that.
Look at that. Look at that.
I,
Oh, I'm getting excited. I'm like a kid at Christmas. So this will be something that I'm going to be including in an adventure of ours
campaign.
whenever. Yeah. I got to get through some stuff in our current campaign, but this is definitely going to be some stuff. Did that not pierce? Didn't pierce. It's more of a stabbing dagger than a slicing dagger.
5 to 7 and including.
There we go.
Concluding at levels 8 to 11.
Yeah. So this would
Yeah,
be
right now online, so I'm looking at it.
we've got we're gonna make some new characters soon. And this would be like maybe something that we put out for them later.
I have something to talk to you about after the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we
Why
go.
can't you tell us now, John?
Okay. We got some nice dice bags. Some green
Okay.
dice bags in there with some gems. I'm a dice goblin, so I love new dice.
I'm all about the digital.
We got a set
Blue.
of blue. Got a set of blue.
I did see a pair of dice that had like, I think they were cat eyes in there, and that was cool. Not actual cat eyes, but it was designed as such.
Oh, our friend Andy had a really nice set of dice. Remember once he got at Gen Con, they were like, it's like prisms in there. Like they would refract the light.
Oh, yes.
Okay, here we go.
We got
So this is made for tabletop. So this would be like you would want to come over to my house and we would play in my dining room because they give us the stand-up
characters.
minis for the bad guys.
taking out bad guys.
Yep, punch out cards for them. Oh, here we go. Some I don't even know what that creature is, but it looks nasty. Got some spidery looking things there.
Yeah.
We use those for bad guys. And what do we got here? These maps. Oh, these are okay. So these are like setting cards on one side, kind of give you some flavor
Got it.
of
Okay.
the setting. And then these are item cards that you would get throughout the game.
Cool.
So special items that probably you're not going to find in the player's handbook or the DM's guide. These are like made specially for the game. Ooh.
What's ooh? You just showing artwork? You can't just
Yeah,
say
I'm just showing art. I'm just showing artwork, but I can't. I don't want to show you the
Oh, you
cool
want to show me
items
certain
that you
things?
can get. But like here's like things that will come up in the game.
Okay.
And like I say, you find writing on a wall, and then I can hand this to the players.
Oh, that.
Um,
Okay, so what he's showing folks is like if you can picture, I'm talking to the audience that is listening to this more than watching this. The if you guys have ever played any type of tabletop game or board game, he's just basically showing the pieces that come with it. So like
correct.
dice, monsters,
Here's some
puzzles, it looks like
tapestries.
yeah, tapestries.
You
My
have
God,
many.
man, this is a castle, is it not?
You have many tapestries. So yeah, maps, handouts. I mean, and I believe the point here is like anything you want to have to play. I mean, it's
Yes.
all in this box. Pre-made. Oh, yeah, here we go. Some pre-made characters.
Nice.
Half elf priest of Versailles. Half elf priest of Versailles.
Everybody's a half elf.
Half orc priest.
Nice.
Human priest. Okay. And then, ooh. So that's a lot of like
That's a lot.
this is all the extra like stuff. This is all not extra. I mean, that's what you're going to be doing for handouts and playing the game.
Yeah, if you guys actually want to see what we're opening, please go to our YouTube channel and check it out.
And then here is
Book.
the adventure of super nice hardcover.
How many pages? Thick book.
Thick book, glossy print pages. That's
Oh wow, that's nice.
It's a beautiful book. Art's very good. Room got that new book smell. New book smell. Page number caps it at 144 pages. So this is the adventure. This is like when I would be running it.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to be reading through. My understanding is that they are also putting this out on they use, I think, Foundry as their virtual tabletop is kind of what
they do. Actually, I'm looking at a YouTube thing where it says Rolt Mork. Is that how you say it?
I think it's Roltmork.
Roltmork DM tutorial for Foundry virtual tabletop. That's actually a YouTube channel. I'm finding this all on the this is AAW website. So they got the Rise of the Drow-Many Dragons. I just happened to click on the book he opened.
Yep, it's AAW.com, right?
Yes.
So
or just type in AAW games and it takes you
AAW games. Yep. I mean, these guys have put out some really solid stuff. I have liked looking at their stuff. This is the first thing of theirs that I've actually been able to own. So I'm really looking forward to running this.
That's very cool. Thank you so much.
My kids have been really asking me to do some tabletop. Like they want to play D&D. And I'm like, okay, I've been putting this off because I knew as soon as I opened this, it's in the box. It's ready to go. I got maps, got descriptions. I've got everything we need. We're not going to be using my unpainted gray minis to show the bad guys. We can just put them right out on the table for what they are.
Very cool.
And I'm really looking forward to getting into this. So thank you very much, List. John Nelson, love what you're doing. Looking forward to playing it.
Cool. There you go. I think we should end it there, man.
I think we should too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I've got some reading. I've got reading to do now.
Yeah. Do your usual before you do your reading there.
Oh yeah. So usually we give you some advice for the week, and this is just, as we're reading through the tragedies that are happening right now, just remember to keep your humanity, try to put that first. Like you can have your negative thoughts about billionaires doing weird things with their money. You're going to have those thoughts, but remember that billionaires are people too. They have families, they have loved ones. So before you make that joke, just remember, don't be a douche.
There you go. For the Greg, this is Johnny saying thank you for watching us. Thank you for listening to us. Have a great week. Podcast out.